Welcome to the Fishbowl Radio, everybody. My name is Chief here, and joining me tonight is Juicy here on the Fishbowl Sports Radio. We're talking about LSU baseball and the Frisco Classic, and we're going to be covering all the other LSU teams going on, women's basketball, which we always got to talk about. Baseball, of course, softball, undefeated so far, by the way, and LSU men's basketball, not doing so great, but they did win their last two conference games. So, and we're getting toward the home stretch of basketball season. So we're going to recap everything that has happened this past week and make our predictions of what's going on in the future in the world of LSU athletics for this episode. So without further ado, let me introduce everybody to Juicy. How you doing today, Juicy?
Oh, I'm good. What up? What up?
Oh yeah, we're doing all good here. So let's talk about LSU baseball. Juice, any impression about what you thought against Dallas Baptist 7-3 night?
Well, it was kind of slow in the early game, but the offense got going. They worked on the pitchers. Uh I can't remember the starting pitcher's name last night, but he pitched a good game up until about he gave up that solo
Until the
shot
fifth
in the
inning.
fifth inning. Yeah, until the fifth inning.
Yeah.
But I mean, I honestly I thought he could. I don't blame. I guess in a way you can't blame Jay Johnson for taking him out because LSU in the past has had a lot of issues with keeping pitchers in there too long. But at the same time, it was just a solo shot. I mean, see if he can get it out after that and try to get out the inning because if they pitch 5 innings, I think they can qualify for the win. Um, But I mean, I get it. I mean, luckily the bullpen, held up for the most part, and they came away with the win. Cade Dickinson hit a home run. Bear Jones hit a long single.
One,
Um,
yeah, one hopper to the wall right there.
and but I mean, it looked good. Of course, you always never want to give up any runs. I mean, I like to see it 7-0, but I know realistically you can't shut out everybody. But I mean, it's been a pretty good. I mean, they've been playing pretty flawless. I mean, finally they get a decent team, a ranked team who's in regionals or almost hosting a regional most years. So it was a good quality win overall, good performance. Just I'm excited to see where it goes. They got the Frisco series, the tournament this tournament thing in Frisco this weekend. I think they should be able to probably win all three of those games, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, in the Frisco Classic, they're going to be taking on Kansas State. That's their first game in that classic there. Then they take on Nebraska, who's coming off a series loss against the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and Sam Houston State being 2-6 so far this season. So Nebraska was ranked this past weekend. Then they got knocked out of the top 25. Now they're going to be playing against the number 2 team in the country on this weekend. They could all three of these games here, just based on what we saw against Dallas Baptist here, having a very good fifth inning. They were leading 5-0 before Dallas Baptist came up, and then they got that 3-run fifth inning there, and then Dallas Baptist couldn't do anything else after that. LSU had a really good performance here. Connor Ware did very good. He retired his first 12 batters that he faced before allowing a leadoff homer in the fifth to Dallas Baptist catcher Grant J. Who exited after the home run. He threw 60 pitches over 4 innings with no walks and 6 strikeouts. So he was, had a hot hand going in that game. I was impressed with it here. I mean, whenever you get, starting pitchers start getting the fifth, sixth inning, they're typically on borrowed time anyway, as it is in typical baseball, game scenarios there. So LSU brought in Zach Cohen to relieve Ware in the fifth inning, and he ended up earning a win. Which I
The
mean, you
pitch,
mentioned
the
earlier,
pitching
Juice.
seems pretty. The pitching seems pretty. Hopefully, seems pretty good this year
So
and more
yeah,
depth.
D1 baseball was kind of on LSU's side when they came out with the preseason rankings, and a lot of guys ranked in that top 100. I think there was like 4 or 5 pitchers that LSU had that was ranked in that top 100 when they came out with their ranking list in the preseason. So it's nice to see that kind of living up to that. LSU does have that lone loss to Omaha. It's just
We'll
one.
just call it a fluke right now, though.
Yeah, it's 8-1 right now. I mean, it's going to take more than that to drop LSU in the rankings there for sure. Yeah, but I mean, they've been handling business LSU so far this season in the season so far. So I personally think LSU is going to win these 3 games, and then when they take on North Dakota State, they got them back-to-back games in Baton Rouge on March 4th on Mardi Gras Day. I don't know who planned that day, who scheduled it more on Mardi Gras Day. It's not a very good idea to schedule anything on Mardi Gras Day. She's going to have an easy series against North Alabama. That next one coming up after that. So LSU could they don't start SEC play until March 14th, which is against Missouri. They will have Xavier going
And I
to
think I
Baton
think
Rouge.
they can. They got a bunch of easy games coming up, easy series, even with Missouri too. Once you start SEC play, you open up against you have a very favorable opening
It's
series too. So I mean, the
this is
schedule looks
what
pretty favorable right now.
well, it's kind of hard to tell what kind of team LSU has. Granted, they are 8-1. Got to get you are what your record says you are. You're 8-1. But the thing I think that's kind of tipping this off is their strength of schedule so far. 244 in non-conference. Right now, currently, their schedule is ranked 243, and that's in the 39.8 percentile of all the teams in the country, that's toward the bottom half of it. So their metrics ain't very good. LSU has an RPI right now 150.
Well, like
And that's the
I was
live
saying
RPI.
though, like starting off against Missouri, like I mean that's very winnable series for them. So I mean a lot of the schedule is pretty favorable right now.
Yeah, until they won't see a ranked opponent again until March 21st, which is Texas, and that's going to be a road series. So, and then you got the Cajuns in the midweek game in the Alex Box Stadium. Then you got a 3-game series against Mississippi State, who lost to Troy earlier in the season, Louisiana Tech. Then they got a 3-game Oklahoma, and that's when they're scheduling start getting them 3 series with Texas, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma are really the tough part of that like early conference series. And once you get past Auburn and Alabama, the toughest part of their schedule is that Tennessee series, that A&M series, and that Arkansas series. But that's toward the back half of their.
Honestly, though, I don't
Uh,
even think that Texas, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma are gonna be that much of a problem either. I think those are still pretty winnable series too, though.
yeah, I mean, I think all these series are winnable. I think every series that LSU has is winnable. I think they got the players to do it here. It's just a matter of like is LSU gonna be battle testing enough to take on these teams here? That's the question. Like whenever we haven't seen them really struggle too much, except the only game that they lost to was Omaha, where their bats were just cold. Like they scored 4 runs in the 9th inning, which means I mean they
Yeah,
almost pulled it off toward
they
the end
almost
there.
pulled it off and came back and still won.
Yeah, but I mean they made up for that February 22nd on that Saturday when they blasted them 12-1. So I mean it's tough to say. Omaha is 2-6 so far this year. They do have a very high RPI, but RPI is not even really a question right now because it's so early in the season. This thing's out of whack until we get more games in this system for it to work and do its thing. But yeah, next 5 games, I'll say LSU wins every single one of them. What you think, Juicy?
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because I don't see
Unless
much
they
right
have
now.
like a fluke game, I, I I'll say for sure they'll win 4. I mean, they could definitely win all 5, but in case they have like another Omaha game, like a fluke game, they may drop one of those, but I don't see them dropping more than one game. But they could definitely win all 5 of them, though.
Yeah, I think LSU's pitching so far this year has been pretty solid for the most. But then again, they haven't played anybody, so it's really hard to like say that you have good pitching. We don't know what kind of team LSU. If you're pumping fire and saying that they're going to win a championship this year, we really, even though have played a 9 games so far. I like having a 10 game. So like I mentioned again when I talk about the Cajuns, LSU and stuff. What I liked more about the Cajun schedule compared to LSU was, which I think will help them when it comes to regional time. LSU is going to be coming off some really tough series and trying to, I guess, give yourself a break and warm up. But we're kind of seeing two different strategies go ahead here. So it's going to be happens when all that is there. So currently, right now, LSU is playing Cal State Fullerton right now. They're losing right now, 5-6 in the top of the 7th. Right now, current win probability is LSU's dropping this one. This might be their first loss of the year. But I think their bases are loaded. Is that? Oh, that's 2 outs now. Okay. LSU has the bases loaded. Let's see if this thing has like a live update thing. It doesn't give me the live updates. They did beat number 4 UCLA earlier today. This was a doubleheader. They're playing a doubleheader again tomorrow. I think even if they draw this on the Cal State Fullerton, I'll say what my pick was. I was gonna pick LSU to beat Cal State Fullerton. I thought they were gonna drop UCLA when we talked about this last time we had it. Let's see. I'm just kind of curious how this is gonna end up. Cal State Fullerton had 3 errors in this game, and they're somehow ahead. LSU's only had 1 error. LSU's had 3 runs in the 6th inning here. They were down 6-2, so they have the momentum on their side here. It's going to take 1 base hit to get this thing back in LSU's favor here. I want to see if they have like any like higher updates here. Let's just see. I wonder if they got like a live thing going on. Oh, that's ESPN Plus. This is like I'm gonna look at live stats right now just to kind of give something going on here. So yeah, this is 2 outs here. Macy Bergeron is on deck right now. Jalea Lassitier, she's 0 for 4 today. Let's see if she's able to pull it off here. If she can get on base, that's going to be a godsend for them because that's going to be wild. They have the bases loaded. So, let's see. I'm waiting on an update. Oh, she struck out looking. Cal State Fullerton wins. LSU softball is no longer undefeated here live on the Fishbowl.
Well,
yeah, they dropped it. She struck out. Yeah. Yep. 6-5. They came close, but it's not enough here. That's their first loss of the year. But so far, I mean, they've played a really decent schedule. 44 strength of schedule so far on the year. The wins in 17 and number 4 UCLA. That's 11-5 Cal State Fullerton. That's not a bad team to lose to anyway. So that's not too bad. I think they'll rebound tomorrow.
Up next.
Yeah, I think they'll beat Utah, Notre Dame, and Weber State. I think they'll rebound, rebound in that game there. Then they got UOM in the midweek.
I think they'll win though. I think they'll win all those. South Alabama. I think they'll win all that.
Yeah, I think that's And then they got the LSU round robin next week with South Alabama and Minnesota. With that there, then they got the Cajuns coming up right after that on Tuesday. I wonder if they moved something around or anything because I was wondering why Warren Nolan wasn't having their thing pulled up. Because I know on the site itself, it gives you all the sites and stuff. But
if I wouldn't be going on vacation on March 11th, which is my birthday, I wouldn't mind going to that LSU UL softball game that night of my birthday. But I won't be in town.
That's on a Tuesday. They got Kentucky right after the Cajun game. So we'll see what happens. I think they'll win all these games. LSU's gonna be the visiting team against Notre Dame. They were the visiting team tonight against Cal State Fullerton, and they were the visiting team earlier against UCLA. Utah is who they're going to play against next. Like I said, I think they win all these games here. I just don't think not too much is going to happen with that there. Uh, you know, they're still kind of trying to see how conference play works because LSU softball trail they're going to run through to the 28th of April. And it starts April 11th through the 28th. That's the stretch of games that I'm looking at with them with their schedule. A&M, they don't get Oklahoma this year, which is a good draw for LSU. That's
But they
something they
do
can look
get
ahead.
Texas, which I mean ain't much better.
Yeah, like I said, they're in that stretch.
And Alabama, they get Alabama.
When the A&M's at 5 this year, Texas at 2. A&M's got the number 1 RPI right now, but that might not last. It just depends on who you have. A&M 17-1 too. Something to look at themselves. See who they played for. Oklahoma State, Virginia. They didn't, and Florida State and Texas Tech. Excuse me. But yeah, theirs is gonna be kind of front loaded. It looks like they got Georgia the week before LSU, so that's gonna be interesting. But I think LSU softball is gonna be all right, though. I think so. But let's see.
Oh yeah.
LSU women's basketball. Let's talk about them because they pretty much guarantee that so far. They're currently in a tough matchup here against Alabama, 79-77 here.
Well, it's not always easy in SEC play. Every game.
It's 44 game. 48 seconds. Excuse me. But yeah, let's try to. I'm gonna try to do live that one here as well. Let's get rid of this ball thing and bring out women's basketball. But yeah, even like I said this before. Even if they dropped it to Alabama, I said this last week. It really wouldn't matter too much here. It's right after that. Then they got the SEC tournament. So if the Tigers can win the rest of their games, which they only have 2 left,
If
I
they
mean,
pull
it's
off this win and they beat Ole Miss,
Alabama's number
then
20. It wouldn't be a bad loss in my opinion. What are they trying to do? Why is I want to look at the actual stats, not the live stream. But we've seen LSU win these close games like this anyway before the season, so it's not like they're
well,
uncontested here.
I mean, it's against a ranked team, so even if they do drop it, it's not really gonna affect them
Yeah, like
too much.
the South Carolina loss earlier,
A close loss to a ranked
and
team. It's not gonna on the road too.
but the last 2 games finished up the shoot 3. Alabama's going to fall right now. 4 of their last out shooting Alabama from the floor, 50, 48%. The free throw stronger. Alabama got one, and that's the difference in this game. I mean that is a tied up. Alabama 71%. Right, going to be Alabama is going to get their last shot opportunity here because of the play clock and stuff here. Aaliyah Nye is being subbed out. For Alabama, she has 28 points. Micah Williams has 18 points. She leads LSU so far, and she's in.
I mean,
Currently,
the women's basketball, even if they lose, I mean, their resume is solid. I mean, they got some good quality wins still to back them up.
yeah, they do. Their largest lead was by 18-point lead in the second. Looking like they're kind of They kind of slipped toward the end of this one here. Timeout, full okay. Full court timeout for Alabama. 8 seconds left to go. This one might be coming to So Flau'jae Johnson has 4 fouls right now. Michaela Williams has 3. Anisha Morrow has 2. Michaela won 18. Anisha Morrow's got 16 points. Flau'jae Johnson only got 6 so far. And she hasn't been shooting that good today. 2 of 9 from the floor so far. So that is something to see how LSU does in these last 8 seconds of this ball game here. She has played 33 minutes too, which is interesting that she sometimes just not your night though.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it goes. I'm trying to see what else they have here. Alabama, they got some foul trouble. Barker's got 4 personal fouls. She's got 17 points on the night, so she's in trouble. If the last time Alabama scored was 119 left on the clock. We'll see what happens here. If they're gonna try a last second shot attempt, Alabama, I guarantee you that much on this. Okay, we're at 6 here. Let's see what happens. 6 seconds left to go. Waiting for an update.
Alabama's got the ball right now.
Personal foul. Personal foul on LSU on Shepard. That's probably going to bring them to the line here. That's her 4th foul. So she's in foul territory. Okay, so they missed the Alabama missed a jumper. It's 1 second left on the clock.
Probably gonna go to overtime then.
It's looking like it. They have 1 second on the. Okay.
Nope, just went to overtime.
Offensive rebound. Yeah.
I'm watching the live
So
update thing.
okay, yeah. So yeah, we're going to overtime in that one. So we'll check back in on that one within the next couple of like 5 minutes or so they have left in the game here. So they have 5 minutes left. We'll check back in on that one as well here. So looking at that there, she just hasn't had a good night so far. So that's interesting. Might be able to come back. It is on ESPN Plus and the SEC network. Not ESPN Plus, the SEC network. So we'll see where. In the third quarter. No, it's the end of the fourth. Why is this thing updating weird? Okay, anyway, end of the fourth quarter, overtime. But LSU men's basketball.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we have to. They got their 3 games left. They got at Mississippi State. They did beat Tennessee. They lost to Tennessee and Florida. They had a 2-game
I was about to
conference
say
win
they
streak against
beat
Oklahoma.
Tennessee.
No, they lost to Tennessee.
I was gonna say.
They lost to Tennessee. I misspoke. They lost to Tennessee and they lost to Florida. South Carolina, they beat. Oklahoma, they beat. So, if they, I think they'll
I know.
drop
Oh
Mississippi
yeah, so they
State.
did get to it. Oh, so yeah, no, that's what I was saying. So they did get back-to-back conference wins, but
Yeah, they did
it
get
was
back-to-back
Oklahoma.
conference wins. So it just depends on. They got 3 ranked opponents here. Look, I like to say this about basketball: if you can get hot at the right time, you can win a tournament. If they can win one of those 3 last games, could get them enough confidence in the SEC play. But
I mean that
tournament
Tennessee
play,
game was. That Tennessee game was pretty close, actually.
yeah, it was a pretty close game. What Doom was there? They were pretty even with Tennessee. The only thing that Tennessee did better than was on the offensive side of the ball. They got more rebounds, and the free throws were really the difference there because of the attempts. And Tennessee shot the ball 5 more times. Offensive rebounding for Tennessee was 17. LSU only had 8.
If they could at least find a way, they probably gonna drop Mississippi State. But if they can find a way to pull off Kentucky and A&M and go into the SEC tournament on a 2-game win streak, it might give them a little momentum going in there, a little
Yeah,
confidence.
that's gonna be an interesting thing to find out for sure Oh, that's going to go here. So, since we're talking about men and women's basketball, we got to bring up the championship brackets here. Let's look at. I want to look at the tournament. Are they going to give me any tournament news? Championships. Let's see. Let's do men's basketball first. Of course, it's going to be on March 12th through 2016. Let's look at the bracket. Just depending on how everybody finishes it out here. So, if you're a 16 seed, you're going to be in game one, obviously. You win, you play. You lose, you're out. You win, you advance. That's all there is to it. It's a single elimination bracket. Currently, if you're looking, LSU and Alabama are still tied in women's basketball. 82-82, 329 left to go. Alabama has the ball.
Nobody wants to lose.
Yeah, basically how it is here. Let's look at the SEC tournament standings here. For not only let me do men's basketball. Is this thing going to drop down or not?
I actually don't think LSU's last in the SEC. I don't believe they are.
They're close to being last. They're second to last. They're one game behind Oklahoma. So they'll be right now sitting, if they can win one of those last, if they can win two of the three last games, like we talked about, they put themselves in a 14th seed position there, which would give them match against the number 11 seed, which currently right now, I wish they had numbers next to them. Auburn, Alabama, Florida, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looking like it's Arkansas.
Who they can beat, because Arkansas is not that great either.
So yeah, that's something here. It just depends if they can get up to 14, 15. They'll play the 10th seed, which is a little bit of a tougher draw. It's Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt's not crazy here. But if they do win against like the 10th seed, they'll go against 7. That 13 seed goes against that 5. So that's right now they're at 14 seed. Well, I mean 15 seed right now. So they'll be playing the 7th seed in the second round, and they get the 2nd seed. So realistically, you want to be in the top 4 seeds when it comes down to the SEC tournament because you only got to win 3 games to win the whole tournament. So less games make it easier on you for sure to win the game. Obviously, that's some John Madden saying right there.
Mm-hmm. Good old John Madden logic.
And rest in peace, man. And Booger McFarland.
Booger. Yeah. Who happens to be an LSU alumni.
Yeah, so it fits better. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, man, I need to make this make more sense here. LSU women's basketball SEC tournament play. They are one of the top 4 seeds in this one this year. That's kind of why you don't want to really lose too much. I don't think the Alabama game would really affect them too much because they're 12-2 and they have a 2-game lead on Kentucky. So if they dropped it to Alabama, they only have Ole Miss left. So if they win Alabama, they're going to clinch this. That's the wrong thing I'm doing. Alabama, they're going to clinch at least a 3rd seed, at least. Then have to wait for
But
Texas.
even if
South
they
Carolina.
lose, I think they'll beat Ole Miss anyway, though.
Well, even if they drop both games, they have that head-to-head win against Kentucky anyway, so they will get the tiebreaker over them. Even if, well, they'd be 14-2, and Kentucky would be 13 and. Well, let's see. No, 12-4, and Kentucky would be. I think they have 1 game left. Kentucky. Anyway, because Alabama, they're fighting for that 5th seed. They got a log jam right there with them. Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss. Those are 3 teams there that they could swing either way. So they're jockeying for positions right now. That's why Alabama is really putting on a show here because they know they have to win to get a better. Because that 4th seed is very much in play still. Kentucky doesn't have that thing completely locked up because they are right there with
And LSU is currently
Alabama.
the 3 seed right now. You see at this point.
Wait, what?
LSU is currently the 3 seed at as of right now. You
Yeah, they're
said
currently at 3 seed. Kentucky is one game ahead of Oklahoma right now in women's basketball. So if Kentucky were to lose, uh, if Kentucky was to lose, either I'm trying to go look and see how many games Kentucky has left.
they should only have about one game left
I'm trying.
each, though.
I think they have one. I think they have one game left. This thing would ever load up for me. So let's see. Kentucky has left in their schedule is South
Oh,
Carolina.
yeah.
So they that's a must win for them because they try to keep that fourth. Drop that
It's
game,
gonna
they're
be
gonna
tough
drop
against South
in
Carolina.
that. Yeah, it's gonna be.
A tough hill to climb.
It's the fact that like they have Oklahoma sitting right there. They're licking their lips right now. Alabama's licking their lips too. That's why this
It's
game is
safe to
so
say though,
imperative.
LSU's probably. I mean, LSU's probably going to be a top 4 seed, though. I think that's probably safe to say.
But LSU cheering for Kentucky to beat Carolina because they'll drop 2 games. Um, South Carolina did beat LSU, so that hurts LSU. And, Texas as well. Let's see where Texas has. I mean, Alabama's got 2. So they're gonna settle that this Sunday. Basically, that's a battle for the 5th seed in the tournament. So that'd be an interesting game to watch. That's why Alabama's ahead right now, 86-84, 53 seconds left to go. We're gonna stay on the air until this game ends here. I mean, we're just trying to see how this updates here. And Alabama does have the ball here. LSU missed a 3-pointer with Flora J. Johnson, a personal foul on Flora J. Johnson. She got her 5th foul, so she fouled out.
Fouled out, man. I know.
Tough performance though. Like she missed that 3-point shot.
I honestly thought LSU's women's basketball team was going to have a small step back this year, but they've probably they've kind of exceeded my expectations a little bit.
Yeah, I mean you lose Angel Reese, and you know that was a big player for them down low.
I thought they would. I thought they would have like 6 or 7 losses, but they've only got 2 of them.
Well, they might have 3 if this stays the same. They're gonna have 3.
Well,
31 seconds left to go.
I'm saying that they're probably going to beat Ole Miss either way, whether they lose or win this one. I'm still thinking they're going to beat Ole
But like in
Miss.
terms of SEC, it might affect their tournament seeding. Maybe if they drop to Alabama,
I don't know, man. They still got
it might.
enough solid
They're
teams on their
projected.
schedule.
They're projected for a 2 right now.
I don't know. I mean, they still got enough solid wins on the schedule to back them up.
I guess it would depend how they do in conference play in the tournament. The conference tournament. That might hold some merit to it. If they get to the semis, lock it up basically. They get bounced in the first round. I mean, get bounced when that first game they play against. Because they only got to play one game to get in the semis.
I mean, I think they're a lock for the NCAA tournament no matter what happens.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think if they even like lose out, they're getting in. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. They have that thing on lock.
I think at worst they're gonna be like if they would lose out, they'd be like a 4 seed at worst.
That's what I'm thinking. I thought I was thinking 4, maybe outline 5, but I don't think a 5 would be. That'd be really like punishing them, I think. But I think you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think 4 is what I'm feeling as well. I'm thinking they probably if they did get bounced out and they like beat Ole Miss or whatever, I think a 3 is where they'll end up here. If they win one game, I think they'll probably end up getting a 2 if they get to the semis of the SEC tournament. 31
But I mean,
seconds to go.
They beat NC State, who was ranked number 20. They got I mean, they beat Tennessee already. They beat Oklahoma, a solid win there. Tennessee twice, actually, they've beaten them. Beat Kentucky. So, yeah, I mean, they got some solid wins on their resume, though.
Yeah, they do. I think they're looking pretty good, from what I can tell. Now, if Alabama scores here, this game's probably to get it right here. Let's see if they call the timeout anywhere. The only thing they would have is personal foul here. I might be able to pull up the whole game stream at this point.
All I'm watching is the live update.
31 seconds left. Like Alabama shot 21 3-pointers in this game, and they made 7 of them. That's what's kept Alabama in this game here. They managed to hit their threes tonight. They're shooting 33%, but 7 threes that's 21 points they got right there. That compared to LSU only getting 9 points from beyond the arc. 3 of 8. LSU definitely won. I mean,
LSU
like if you're having to rely on your
LSU shooting 47% from the floor, though.
yeah,
overall.
Alabama's only they're shooting 46%, so not much of a separation there. But what's really kept what put Alabama ahead, what put Alabama ahead is in 3-pointers. LSU got the ball back, so personal foul. Alabama got a personal foul on Barker. She fouls out with 21 points, so LSU's gonna probably go to the line, maybe. Everybody gets the time to foul. You know, they're out. So I'm wondering who they're subbing in. I didn't see who they subbed in. Shepard came in. But they didn't. I don't think they subbed anybody in. So Flaude went out. Gilbert Goat comes in for LSU. Her night, 4 of 9 for 9 points so far. Alabama subbed out Barker because she fouled out. Lester's coming in. This is her first. She only played 2 minutes of the game so far, so she's definitely. Gilbert's had a little bit more playing time in here, so Alabama really kind of getting deeper into their. This is going to be interesting. Oh, LSU got the offensive rebound. Williams missed the free throw. LSU, did they get the putback? Oh, free Williams. So we'll 31 seconds left to go here in this game here. I tell you what, though, like this has been a long battle between these two teams here in overtime for sure. Credit, man, they are playing some ball out there right now.
That's why I said this won't be a bad loss, even if they lose, because I mean they went to overtime and still.
3 seconds. LSU missed a layup. That would have won LSU the game. Probably they'd have made that. LSU's probably looking like they're going to lose it here. Alabama got the rebound too. Yeah, Alabama's going to win it. They got a defensive rebound. They blocked it by number 21 on the layup. Yeah, Michaela Williams got it blocked. Wait, did they put 4 seconds back on the clock? Yeah, they put from 3 to 4. So they're going to have to So Alabama's going to rebound it in, and LSU's okay. Alabama calling a timeout here. That's their last final timeout. LSU's got one more timeout left here. So not much time at all for LSU here. If you're maybe trying to do a quick foul, maybe send them to the line. They make their 2 free throws. You can
Yeah, if you
maybe,
foul them, you stop the clock, and you still have a one possession game technically.
yeah,
Even if they make both of them, it's still a 3-point game.
yeah. I think you lead. I think you're gonna have the intentionally foul here and make Alabama make both their free throw shots here. Alabama has been
You
pretty
have to
good for the
make them
arc,
foul
but
so they don't run the clock down.
yeah, you only got 4 seconds left to do. You only got 4 seconds, so you don't have a lot to do anything there. You're gonna have to get the foul, then have them go to the free throw line, shoot both their free. Alabama's been making 71% on the night here. I would feel better about if LSU was shooting free throws tonight because LSU's only shooting 61%. Alabama been more percentage has been higher for Alabama. So points off turnovers, LSU. Yeah, there's the personal foul. They only 1 second. Actually, that was on Michaela Williams. That was her 4th foul. So if
Well, at this
Alabama
point, it don't matter though.
missed it, yeah, I mean you got to go for broke at this point here, obviously. But if LSU, if they win, I mean if they can get the offensive okay, they made their first free throw, but like if they can get the rebound right here
And throw up some
and
kind of prayer that happens to go in.
yeah, it's possible.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
well,
the most LSU can do is tie it now.
they made both of them. Yeah, 30 the final timeout here. Both teams have no more timeouts left. 88-85. Alabama is winning here with 3 seconds left to go in this game here in overtime here. And it's
The most they can do is tie it now.
yeah, that's the most you can hope for at this point here is just to tie it here. If anything here, it's a fight. I'll tell you that much. It is a fight out there for sure. You're going to have to get the ball down the court here. Inbound it. You're going to have to hurry up and get that thing up there, up court. Because if you don't, then, you're going to lose, obviously. But got to get it near that 3-point line, get a wide open shot. But
Are
you
they
got to have
inbounding it from on the opposite side of the court, or are they inbounding it on the?
they're got to be rebounding. I mean, inbounding it from all side of the court, I would think, because the time stamps are just all kind of close together. Let me try to pull up Twitter just to kind of see what's going on. I mean X, excuse me. I keep their branding's weird because their website still says Twitter. When you type, well, it says X.com now. Of course, LSU women's basketball is not updating anybody on anything here because they're last
Looks
posted
like the
12
game's
minutes.
over.
Yeah, it looks like it is. We'll make sure that there's clarification. Oh, a missed 3-point shot by Michaela Williams. Alabama got the defensive rebound. So, yeah, that's it. That should do it unless there was a foul that they called or something. I think, yeah, this one looks like it's over, Juicy. LSU falls to Alabama tonight, 88-85. Is what it's looking like here.
It was a tough fight
I'm
against
going to refresh it.
against a ranked team.
Yeah, another ranked loss for LSU. That's their third ranked loss of the year. Bad. Like we said before, this is.
But they won. But they got like 4 or 5
go
ranked wins this year too, though.
Yeah, so this you still gotta feel pretty good about everything. I think. Like really, like say, oh, it's bad, but whatever. But yeah, I'm thinking. I think this is a final. They didn't clear everything yet, but you got the person who you want to shooting the ball right there, Michaela Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's final now. Yeah, that's final. It just went final. Alabama defeats LSU.
I still think they're gonna beat Ole Miss though in the last game.
Yeah, we're doing a little X update here.
I think they'll defeat. I think they'll beat Ole Miss and close out the regular season with a win.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen to them. I think they'll be all right, though. I think LSU women's basketball, I think they'll be fine. I think they get the win against Ole Miss and we go to the
Hey,
SEC
I ain't complaining. I ain't
play.
complaining. I mean, the women's basketball programs is leaps and bounds ahead of what they were before Kim Mulkey got there, so I ain't really mad.
Yeah. Had some success in the 2000s and early 2010s, but Kim back in those days.
They were a mess until she got there for a while, so I ain't really mad about it because even if it's just Sweet 16, Elite 8, whatever, it's better than what they were doing before she got there.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to wrap everything up here for this episode here, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in here to the Fishbowl Radio. We hope you have a great and wonderful night wherever you're watching this from here. We're going to upload this episode to Facebook here, so that's what I'll be working on sometime. Probably should be up in the morning at some point here. So thank y'all for tuning in here. If you're following us on Instagram, thank y'all very much for that there. Yeah, this was a very fun one. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all have a great and wonderful day here. LSU, we just watched LSU women's basketball fall to Alabama tonight. LSU softball got their first loss tonight. So, yeah, it's not a great night to be an LSU Tiger fan. But, I think, like I said, LSU women's basketball, expecting them to rebound against Ole Miss when they play them next week. Not next week, this weekend when they play. LSU softball, they got a doubleheader tomorrow. They're going to take care of business, I believe, as well. So, a lot of sports going on. Enjoy your Mardi Gras. Have a great weekend. We'll see you here next time here on the Fishbowl Sports Radio. Have a good night, Fishbowl
Good
Nation.
night, Fishbowl.